Bangalore. And by the way, she's been kitchen auntie in the primary school since the last maybe 20, 25 years or even more after that. But she was working in the housekeeping department in East West Hotel in Bangalore. She knocks our door and tells mom and dad, I have come to take you to Whitefield. Not knowing who she was, we just said, yes, yes, we want to go to Baba. Yeah, I know. Just come. Get ready and come. We go to Whitefield. We sit down there for darshan. All five of us with mom, of course. My brothers were still young. We were all sitting with mom. Dad was alone in the men's side, and Swami comes out, comes walking, and it was just, we all just couldn't say any words. We were just quietly watching, and he comes towards us, and Auntie Indu Singh actually stood up and said, Swami, she was going to tell him that she's brought us, I don't know. She just said, oh, yes, yes, I know. Take them inside. That was the first words we heard from Swami. Yes, yes, I know. And after that, many years, even before we ask, he looks at us and says, I know. That is what Swami was. First for us siblings, all five of us. Someone who we just have to look up to him and he knows it all. That's all. Gave us an interview, took us inside. As soon as we sat down, not only mom and dad, all five of us just broke down, just cried and cried, not even knowing why are we all crying so much. That interview, again, Auntie Draupadi Bharwani and uncle, our own Sister Sheetal's grandparents, they were in the interview with us, and she was just looking at us and said, don't cry. And here Swami is sitting there and laughing and telling her, it's okay. They are all happy. They don't know. I know. And we all just cried. That first interview, maybe it was 25 to 30 minutes where we all spent crying and crying. He beautifully materialized Mao, warm, really warm Mao, gave us all in our hands and said, now you may go. Tomorrow I will call you. Yes, the second day we sat down and he told Dad, take them all inside. We went again for the interview. He asked Dad, the first question he asked Dad was, what is your wife's name? And Dad said, Geeta Swami. He said, no, Meera. And my mom's name before marriage was Meera. And he knew it. He knew it. We all just looked at mom and looked at dad and we were like, oh my God, there's just no words to say. And Swami beautifully told mom, he said, what have you done to my pictures in your room? Remember I said mom went between 95 to 1978 with dad and kept buying Swami's pictures, kept in her room. He says, idhar se udhar rakhta hai, udhar se idhar rakhta hai, from the dressing table beside the bed, from, I know. This is all he said. Everything from the time we got into him, he already knew what we did at home. And again, the second interview, Pad Namaskar, tears and tears and tears. And he said, come with me to Puttaparthi. He beautifully let us follow him. And following him behind his car, that is one experience that I don't know if it could be expressed, but when they say the mother of all mothers, that's him. He would send bananas to the car. He would stop for a while. He would send pakoras to us. And we were all just in awe. You know, it's like he's giving us bananas. He's giving us pakoras. Whatever he took, I don't think he ever ate in the car. It was just for the cars that follow him. 3 hours, 4 hours drive. Puttaparthi was not so smooth as it is now. It was a very, very rough drive. But, you know, behind the Lord, it didn't seem rough to us until we saw the highway now. Then we knew, oh, it was rough those days. But behind him, nothing. Nothing seemed rough at all. It was a beautiful experience. We reached Puttaparthi, we got a room, and it was a little late in the evening. We took shower, and that room was full of cockroaches. Again, the rooms were not like they are now. We were given a room, but the whole night mom was just killing the cockroaches, and I took all my siblings outside the room, and we literally sat down there at the step of the door, and we were just like, we're not going to sleep inside this room. Next morning, he looked at us and he said, I have given you a better room. He actually gave us the VIP room. And we were all like, wow, such a beautiful room. And he says, they didn't sleep all night. This mother of all mothers knew his children couldn't sleep. But we were like, no, Swami, wherever you put us, you put us. But this is a beautiful room anyway. Enjoyed the room a couple of nights, 3 nights, got more interviews, and he told us to go back. 1980, 1981, every summer holidays, dad and mom would just take us. Of course, we would look forward to going to Parthi. It was one beautiful trip. We all know very well how Swami stresses on the Gayatri mantra. Here is one experience on the power of the Gayatri. Again, we were still very young, of course, a year after that. We reached Bangalore at night, and we decided, of course, mom and dad decided to go straight to Parthi. We didn't want to stay in any hotel. And once again, I remind you, those days, almost 40 years back, the roads were not as beautiful as they are now. At night, we actually passed a very, very jungle-like area, no street lights, and it was raining so heavily. The driver of the taxi got so scared he couldn't see ahead at all. And he heard some sound of very light drums. And guess what he told my dad? He said, this is such a dangerous area. Those are the drums where the dakus actually come at nights. And we 5, of course, my younger siblings were sleeping, and my brother and me and my sister, Mala, we asked dad, what do we do? What should he said, just go on chanting the Gayatri. Don't cry, don't get afraid. Say the Gayatri. Mom and us, we just chanted and chanted and chanted the Gayatri. Of course, tears were flowing. We were so scared. If the driver is so scared, what's going to happen to us? Just a few minutes of chanting the Gayatri, there was a fully lit up bus. So bright, the whole bus was fully lit up. And my dad was like, told the driver, come in, let's follow. And the bus went on honking, and you all know the honk of India's buses. It could just bring a dead man alive. That loud it was. It went louder and louder, and dad just told the driver, come in, let's follow. And he jumped inside, and we followed the bus, just saying, thank you, Swami, thank you, Swami, thank you. And we were like, okay, there was a bus. We saw it was an empty bus, but we were more happy that it was a fully lit up bus. And as soon as we were nearing Parthi, just a couple of street lights were there, a few street lights. There was a dhaba, a little quite bright, and the bus was not there. There was no bus. And mind you, there was no left lane, there was no right lane. The bus disappeared. When the driver reached the dhaba, he told my dad, please, can I have some chai? And he was sweating profusely. So dad actually asked him, why are you like this, He said, Saab, do you know the bus had no driver? There was no driver in that fully lit up bus. There was no passengers. There was no driver. It was just one lit up bus that disappeared. Dad was very convinced. Swami, this is Swami, this is Swami, this is Baba. But then to assure us, we reached Parthi the next day in the morning, called us for an interview. Swami beautifully called us for an interview the first day. And he said, how was the bus last night? And we all just cried again. And he told my dad, never, never bring your family, wife and children in the night. You never travel in the night. Again, the mother of all mothers. Sometimes we as parents, we know we are running after our Lord. We forget, but He is there taking care of us and reminds us, take care. Never, never come with your family in the night. It was such a beautiful thing. Till today, the Gayatri has stuck in our heads. Though we've learned the meaning, we are still learning and learning and learning to pronounce it correctly, the Swami way, the Sai way. It's the most powerful mantras. As Swami says, it is the mother of all mantras, the Gayatri. And the years went beautiful by with darshan after darshan, every summer holiday, though secretly inside, we wanted to see India, because all we saw over the years was just Madras airport, Bangalore airport, and then straight to Parthi. But Dad used to say, ask Swami, ask Swami. And we would, by the time we would stay for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, then only Swami would give us permission to leave Parthi. It would be time to go back to school. No India. Swami, Swami, Swami. And Swami says, from Swami, go straight home. And we would just do that. Deep inside, we would say, never seen the Taj Mahal, never seen Delhi, never seen anywhere else. It's just Bangalore and Parthi. Bangalore also, idli, dosa, and straight to Parthi. Still, the way he used to call us in, we said, okay, Swami, that's it. The years passed. My brothers joined his school. We were asked, my sister, who's just 1 year younger to me, we were asked to join the Anandpur campus for grade 11 and 12. 2 beautiful years. When I joined there, the first month, it was so beautiful. The first month, actually, he asked my warden, she's not eating. And honestly, I was never the sambar rasam type. And all they served for lunch and dinner, that was the main meal. Sambar rasam, little bhaji. And I would just take little and just take the chapati and roll little butter or ghee, whatever I get, and take it to the room and just eat. And he came to the warden, Indonesia, how are you? I said, Swami, I'm good, Swami. No, 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 she's not eating. She needs fruits. And my warden looked at me and I was like, no, Swami, I'm fine. Swami, I'll eat dal rasam. I promise, don't do this to me. I'll eat whatever they give, you know. And my warden actually took care that I got, Anandpur is a very dry town, very less fruits, but whatever they could get chiku, they could get a few things, just a few fruits. And every morning there was a small fruit basket sent to my room 1 week. But then this is how Swami teaches us. Swami teaches us in his loving way. He announced, I didn't want to be the main thing amongst all the other girls. There were a few of them who came from abroad, but they were eating sambar rasam. But he just had to tell me that you don't eat, I will have to take care specially for you. No, no, I said, Swami, I promise I will eat. In my heart, I said, I will eat sambar rasam. Sambar rasam, till today, we all love it after learning, eating with him there. All the years passed. 2 years were beautiful years. But before I say further, let me just share with you a beautiful poem by Phyllis Crystal, Swami's very, very close devotee. She says, she praises him as, you are the only one. You are in every one. You are the guiding star, clearly seen wherever we are. You are the heart's delight. You are the inner light. You are the charioteer. You are near and dear. But we so often forget, we have not learned as yet to put our trust in you and let you carry us through. Another experience for this. Sometimes we just forget. Not sometimes, like she says, we so often forget. When both my sister Mala and me were studying in Anandpur, during one of the breaks, we were with mom and dad, and we were so persistent that dad take us outside Parthi and show us something about India. And he says, no, 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 till Swami gives me permission, I will not leave Puttaparthi. So they said, again, it will be 2 weeks again. We said, we have to go back to the hostel then. We can't do this every time. He says, ask Swami. How will we ask? You're the one who talked to him. Write a letter. And we both, honestly, we both just laughed at him, Dad. He gets hundreds or maybe 1,000 letters a day. You think he will pick our letter and read that we want to go and say, okay, yes, you can go? He said, whatever, I will not go if Swami doesn't give me permission. And we slept. We said, he doesn't read all the letters. Anyway, it's okay, we'll stay here and go back to Anandpur when the holidays are over. 2 weeks break only. The next day, he called a whole group for interview. They came out, bhajan started, and he told Dad, call your family. Just Dad, Mom, my sister Mala, and me. In the interview room, sit down, he said. We four sat down, and I somehow, both of us knew he was going to tell us something. We are gonna get it today. We both just looked down. We didn't dare look at his face. He took his basket of letters that he collects, where the boys actually put. He put that on his lap, and 40 minutes interview. 40 minutes interview. He didn't let Dad talk. He didn't let Mom talk. He didn't look at us. He was reading the letters one by one. And we both just bowed down. We said, forgive us, Lord, forgive us. That's it. We will never, never complain. We will never, never doubt you. Both of us just looked down. He finished reading. There were more than 100. We are very sure, but we didn't dare look in the basket. We were just looking down and just tears. And the moment Dad wanted to ask him something, shh. Mom wanted to ask, I know, I know. That's it. That's all he spoke. He didn't let them speak. He only read all the letters. And he kept the letters, took vibhuti, gave us. He said, acha jao. 40 minutes interview just to show us you still doubt Swami. And that was it. We said, no, Swami, you just know it all. That's it. You know it all. We know now you know it all. Beautiful. It was just an experience. Every waking moment, we remember the bus, the letters that he showed us, that he knows. He knows everything. We just need to connect. That's it. Another beautiful interview, same thing. We were there with my other siblings. It was during those 2 years too. And there were two elderlies, two Swiss ladies, very elderly. Could be at that time they were 50s, 60s, maybe older. So he's telling my sister and me, he's saying, see, they never got married because all they wanted to do was translate Swami's books. And my sister and me were like, it's okay, Swami, you don't get us married. We will also translate your books in Indonesia. We'll do all that work. No, no, no. You have to give me 5 children. So we both were looking at each other. We said, just because Mom has 5 children, he wants us to give him five children? No, no, no. My Swami's words. You have to give me 5 children. You will have 5 children. Yes, he said, you will have 5 children. And we both were like, no, nothing in the world is going to make us have 5 children each. That's what we thought. But Swami's words is proved, comes true only when we experience it. Today, we both together, we have 5 children. My sister has 3 boys and I have 2 girls. These are the power of his words. He knows it. He knows it. We think we know, but still we don't know. That is the beauty. So loving and so deep. We finished grade 12. I finished my grade 12. My sister was still ending her grade 11, going to grade 12. We were called for an interview, 2 of us with mom. And he suddenly told me, I had already applied. We were very ambitious. My mom always said, please study high. I want all of you to have degree. She wanted us to go to college. She wanted us to do something with our lives. So I was quite thinking after grade 12, I'm going to do my Bachelor of Arts. I had also applied actually. He called us for an interview. He said, what are you doing now? I said, Swami, I just sent an application for BA. No. You go back to Jakarta. I said, Swami, I just finished grade 12 and I want to study. No, you don't study. You go back. And your sister, you do BCom. So I was like, why are you doing this to me? And he said, your husband will be a 12th standard graduate and hers is a chartered accountant, a CA. So she has to do BCom. You stop here. I was like, yeah, but our husbands, but we don't even know. And mind you, we were 16. My sister was 16, I was 17. And we didn't know who our husbands were. And there was no affair. There was no affair at all. And he could tell us that. And I was like, what do I do, Swami? What do I go back and do now if I have to go back? And he says, he kept quiet for 1 second. He said, be a science teacher. Be a science teacher? The teachers over here are also all B.Ed graduates. They are not just teachers like that. Go back and be a science teacher. I came back with mom. My sister had to complete her grade 12 and she also wanted to do her BCom. I came back with mom. At the mandir, at the Sai Mandir here, all my loving aunties, everyone was like waiting for me. They were saying, Kavita, we've been doing Bal Vikas, but we want you to take charge now. I was 17 and that was his chosen profession for me, his chosen title for me, be a science teacher. I was learning with my students. They were all my 13, 14, 15-year-olds. We were all learning the Vandanas together. Of course, Sister Pia was already there. Sister Pia guided us beautifully. We were all learning together. And after that, whatever I tried to learn, I tried to work in the office. I tried to be a manager. I tried teaching at school. Nothing lasted for more than a couple of months, as much as being a Bal Vikas teacher has lasted until today. My science chosen title. And it's kept me so happy, so fulfilled. I have no words to say. That is him. He knows it, he knew it, and he does know it. Forever he will. As personally, and yes, in that interview too, when he didn't allow us to study, he knew I was a little upset and I was so sad. He was joking with us and he said, your husband, I know your husbands, he said. Besides their education, he actually described their appearances. He told my sister, you are tall. I will give you a short husband, a short and handsome husband. And he teased me. He said, you're short. I'll give you a tall. And he described him. I was so scared. I was like, why are you doing this to me? Because I was crying. He had to joke. And he said, I'll give you a bald and a mustache husband. I said, no, you're not going to do that for me. You're not going to do that to me. I was just like, please, Swami, I will go back and I know you will give me the best. And he did. 6 to 7 years after that, we got married. I got married after 5 months, my sister. And everything he described about our husbands, every word he said, they were just those kind, that same kind of lovely people. He knew it when we were teenagers. And we got married at 23 and 24. And they were exactly what he described. As for me, with all those, I would describe him in 3 A's, just the 3 A's: the all-knower, the all-doer, and the all-giver. We got married. I had a daughter, Mena, and she had her first son. She was hell-bent, my sister was hell-bent on letting Swami name her son. So when they had to travel, he had to have a name in the passport. When her son was born, they had Amrit flowing in their home, in their altar, the Swami's charan. So her husband just said, we'll just put Amrit in the passport. But when she came to Parthi, she came with her husband and her baby, and she was like, no, 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 don't tell him anything. His name is not Amrit. I want Swami to give his name. I want Swami to take out his name. I don't want, this is not his name. Okay, okay, her husband also. Everyone kept quiet, of course. They got an interview, and Swami asked, what is your child's name? And she said, no, no, Swami, you have to give the name. You have to, bolo na, naam hai, tell me his name. She said, no, 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 you have to give. Then he looked at her husband, Deepak, and he said, what did you give his name? And he said, he knew. He said, I know. What did you give his name? And he said, Swami, for the passport, I had to give a name. And there was Amrit in the house, in the charan when he was born, and I gave it Amrit. Bas, Sai Amrit, his name is Sai Amrit. That is so beautiful. He knew it. He didn't want to do something that was already lovingly done. He didn't want to undo that. He just added, I am. So beautiful. And so beautifully, he performed my brother's wedding in Whitefield. Saw I had a little girl with me, looked at me, and let me just tell you, between my husband and me, when we got married, we both said, we'll just have one child. Whether it's a boy or a girl, we'll stick to one child, not more. And I used to tell my husband, listening to what Swami used to tell people, I'll give you a son, I'll give you a daughter, I said, listen, if Baba ever tells me that he's gonna give me a son, we will have a second child. And during my brother's wedding in Whitefield, after the wedding, he called the whole family together. He looked at me, he said, one daughter? I said, yes. Jaldi, jaldi karo, son deta hai. Be quick, I'll give you a son. And I used to say those words. If he tells me I'll have a son, I will have another child. And that again was because of an interview, an experience, a beautiful experience we had before my marriage. One of our interviews, my dear Auntie Jay was with us. We all know Auntie Jay, Daryanani. She was with us in the interview. She had had her first 2 daughters. Swami lovingly asked her, you have 2 girls? She said, yes, Swami. He said, beta chahiye? You want a son? Of course, she will say, yes, Swami, I will give you a son. And she came back to Jakarta. Yes, her husband, my uncle Mirchu, said, are you sure you want to have a 3rd child? Swami can say son, S-O-N, but he can mean son, S-U-N, S-U-N. Are you okay? Will your faith waver if you don't get a boy as your 3rd child? She was very adamant. She said, my faith will not change. We are having a 3rd child. And that 3rd son that she was blessed with is our own moderator, Gopala here, a living proof of Swami's assurance, Swami's love. And that came into me and I said, all right, I'm going to have a second child. He has blessed me. Jaldi, jaldi karo, son deta hai. I am having a second child. Went through a good pregnancy, delivered a beautiful baby girl. Everyone, you know how 25 years, my elderly aunties said, oh no, another girl? You will have to have a third child. You have to get a son. I said, no, this is my science son, S-U-N. I remembered my uncle's words, not S-O-N, it can be S-U-N. It was so beautiful. In the hospital, my husband actually told me, you know, when you got pregnant, I actually prayed for another daughter. I did not want a son. He told me in the hospital. I said, we've got what you want. We went to Parthi just a year, not even a year after that, a few months after that, got an interview. All of us went inside. We went inside for the interview. Before I could bring my baby, my second child, inside the room, he's standing there and looking at me and telling the boys in the veranda. He said, Gussa hai Swami se. She's angry with me. And I'm like looking at him, why am I angry, you know? He said, son bola, beti hui. He said, I told her I will give you a son, but she got a daughter. Go inside with your daughter. I said, yes, Swami. But inside I was like, I am not angry, I am blessed. And when he called us inside, in the interview, he called us privately, my husband, me, and both the girls. He said, in the hospital, what my husband had told me, he told me, husband happy, Swami happy. I said, Swami, we are all happy, Swami. We are all very happy. Gussa nahi hai. I was joking because the boys outside in the veranda really laughed. So he said, I was joking. I know. You're happy. I said, we are all very happy, Swami. That is our Swami. Beautiful. And then one more, just one more. There was another interview after that, much after that. Oh, when my brother had his first son, my sister had twins, by the way, and he lovingly named them Love and Kush. And all of us got an interview when Dad had a beautiful chance to speak in Parthi. So all of us went in with grandchildren, with everyone. We were about maybe 12, 15, 16 of us. Again, he joked outside. He's joking and telling about my mom and dad. He's saying, such a big family, they can even open a primary school. And all the boys in the veranda laughed lovingly, beautifully. He teases also. Then he took us all inside. There was an 80-year-old woman there sitting just a little in front of me. And he lovingly gave her his robe. I just kept quiet. I closed my eyes for a minute and he was talking to Dad. He was talking to a few other people. I just prayed inside. I said, Swami, when I'm 80 or when I grow old, I want your robe. And when I opened my eyes, he was staring at me. He said, Abhi deta hai. Wait. He went to the curtain where probably his cupboard is there, brought a robe and just, you wanted this, no? Here, take. And he wiped his hand with his kerchief and he just gave it off. Bonus, his robe and his kerchief. I didn't have to wait till we are old, till I was old. He knew it that instant. He said, take it. That is our Swami. From a living God in 1975, what he was introduced us to. Over the years, he became the light, the love that we all yearn for, we look for within us. He became our life, our breath, our soul. He even gave us a purpose in life, a beautiful purpose. That's our Sai. Swami says, let me quote him a bit now. You have come from God. You are a spark of His glory. You are a wave of that ocean of bliss. You will get peace only when you again merge in Him. My dearest Sai family, all we need to think of Him at all times, in all the things we have to go about doing all day long. There was a beautiful story one of our teachers recently put in the Balvikas chat, a beautiful story about a student who told Swami, Swami, we are so tied up in college. We are so busy with the college routine. We have no time to think of you. And Swami replied to him and said, you're thinking of me for 24 hours. And this boy is surprised. Here I'm telling him we have no time to think of you. He said, you can think of me for 24 hours. When you wake up, you wish me. When you're going for bath, think you're cleaning my temple. When you're going to uni, say, Swami, I'm going. When you're studying, Swami, I'm studying. When you eat, tell me, Swami, I'm eating. Basically, he just wants us to talk to him, to tell him, and he's there. We say, when we call him, he comes. And when we don't call him, does he go? He is with us. He is with us at all times. The difference is when we call him, we feel him. We know when we don't remember him, he doesn't go. He doesn't go. He promised us, I will protect you just like the eyelids protect your eyes. How much closer can he be? How much more close? Even our hands are not that close to us as much as the eyelids is to the eyes. How much closer can he assure us that he is with us? All we need is to think of him 24 hours, that's what he says, in doing whatever we do, everything we do, we offer it to him. We tell him, and he's definitely there. Just one last beautiful experience for this also. After a few years of getting married, my father-in-law never traveled in a long time, in a very long time. But because of, we used to go every year, I used to tell him a lot of these stories of all this, you know, Swami did this, Swami said this, Swami that. So I just told him, please, one time you come with me. I just want you to see Baba. Please come. And yes, he braved himself a little and he came with us to Puttaparthi. And I was there. I reached Puttaparthi with my mother-in-law, with my father-in-law, with my husband, my kids. And I was like, Swami, please, I brought my father-in-law. I have assured him of you. Please, please do call us. First darshan, no. Second darshan, no. Second day, no. And by evening, we were going back. We were going to a few more places, to Bombay, to Pune. We were going there. And I was like, oh my God, Swami, you didn't call us. And I have assured him about your glory. I've spoken to him about your glory. He's come yearning for you. And the day we were leaving, I asked him, I said, Daddy, do you want to stay a couple more days? We haven't got interview. I don't know what. He was so shocked. He said, do you know, I have come here thinking I just want to touch his feet. And my husband and my father-in-law told me all three darshans. He got the first line. My husband gave him the front line and sat behind him. And all the three darshans, Swami actually came to him and kept saying, Karo, Namaskar, Karo. He said, I am so happy. All I wanted was to touch his feet. And every darshan, I touched his feet. Swami knew it. Again, he said, yes, I know, I know. When I kept asking, when I passed him, he would just smile and just walk on. Inside him, I know he would have said to me, yes, I know, and goes there to the men's side. And he knew what he was doing. I didn't know. I was just worrying and worrying and worrying and please, please, please. But above all, he knew. With all these experiences, respected elders, my dearest Sai family, please allow me now to share with you all a prayer-like poem that came out from within my heart while preparing for this. We came to you not knowing what was, but you knew it. In your glory we basked, interview after interview, not knowing what to ask, but you knew it. You gave us all in abundance, love, wealth, joy, and all. We didn't know why, but you knew it. And now, in our hearts, we pray day in and day out. Let service be our lives, and you know it. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you so much, Didi. We now open up for a couple of questions. If anybody have any questions, they may please type in the chat box and we will unmute you accordingly. We'll give it 30 more seconds. Looks like you satisfied all that we needed already. It was absolutely an awe-inspiring session. Thank you so much for sharing such beautiful experiences with us. We look forward to more and more such sessions with you. We will now close with a short bhajan. Okay, some technical difficulties.
Good, no? Bye-bye.
We need a couple of minutes for the bhajans. The computer just had a bit of an issue.
हरि भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं, हरि भजन बिना सुख भक्ति बिना उद्धार नहीं, भक्ति बिना उद्धार नहीं, गुरु सेवा बिना निर्वाण नहीं, गुरु सेवा बिना निर्वाण नहीं, जब ज्ञान बिना संयोग नहीं, ज्ञान बिना संयोग नहीं, प्रभु दर्श बिना प्रज्ञान नहीं, प्रभु दर्श बिना प्रज्ञान नहीं, जय धर्म बिना सत्कर्म नहीं, जय धर्म बिना सत्कर्म नहीं, भगवान बिना कोई अपना नहीं, भगवान बिना कोई अपना नहीं, हरि नाम बिना परमात्मा 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 नहीं, हरि भजन बिना सुख शांति 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 नहीं, हरि भजन
हरि नाम बिना आनंद नहीं, हरि नाम बिना आनंद नहीं, हरि भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं, सुख शांति नहीं. And with that, we will close our session for today. Once again, thank you, Didi. You've really touched many of our hearts, as some of the comments are saying right now as well. You brought tears to our eyes with your experiences. Thank you for sharing with us.
Sairam.
Sairam. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.